Finally, a gas grill with thermostatic control, available only at Sam's Club. The new Members Mark Pro Series with patented thermostatic control. It offers users 2 ways to cook. Barbecue mode is traditional grilling with variable temperatures with users in control, while oven mode allows users to set a temperature from 225 degrees to 450 degrees. And the technology does the work of monitoring and adjusting to ensure precise firebox temperatures. We're talking about the Members Mark Pro Series with thermostatic control, now available at your local Sam Club store.
Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I think I just blew Shell's ear out. You wasn't ready for that, was you?
He come in hot.
I think my...
I'm your host, Malcom Reed, and I'm joined by my lovely, talented wife on my left side today because we got a guest right across from me. Who is it, Shell?
Mark Williams.
I'm not a special guest this time.
You're not. You lost the special tag because I don't know how many times you've been on here, but it's probably been a dozen, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when y'all just ain't got nothing to talk about, need somebody boring to fill in.
That's what Shell said. You want to have a guest on today? Mark's here. I was like, he's always here.
I'm here every day.
Yeah, we'll have a guest today.
I'm just glad y'all use me for my great personality.
It's that and your camo.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that bottom land pattern.
That's not a bad looking.
Yeah, is that a Monarch?
Yeah.
Monarch hunting blinds.
I think that's where I got it from. I don't want to take it off. My hair is bad.
Yeah, you were unprepared.
I was unprepared. I didn't get my makeup on this morning or nothing. Shell hit me right out the gate. You want to be on the podcast? Do I have a choice? No, of course. I always want to be on the podcast.
Hey, this is the first time when we come on where we don't have an event lined up anytime in the near future.
Yeah.
We've been promoting the 2 events we just did.
Man, I'm glad.
Kidding. We've been cooking a lot here lately. Right now, I'm a little tweaked up on the coffee.
We got a brand new coffee machine for the office. Mark talked me into it.
I didn't talk you into
that.
That
was one reason why Shell's like, you want to talk? I said, yeah, because we're going to talk about espresso today.
So we get to talking really fast. We know what it is.
I'm all hopped up.
Yeah.
That'd be a double shot.
I'm on my second one.
Dang, how many shots is that for you? 6.
4. I like to hear my own thoughts.
Your heart's going to be beating in a minute.
I hope it does.
Outside your chest. So what is on the agenda for today, Shell?
Well, first I wanted to talk about this new coffee machine we got. So what did we get?
It's the new Ninja Luxe Premier espresso machine.
So it's a fancy
espresso machine. So my wife got me an espresso machine for Christmas because I like coffee, and I've always been intrigued by that. Like, because it's an art to it. Like, the people that make like real espresso are very talented, and I respect the heck out of that. But so I got I forgot what brand mine was. It was about a $400 or $500 like full combo machine, and it done pretty good. But it's a lot of tweaking. It's like barbecue. Like, you change your coffee bean, you got to change your grind size and your temperature, and you nerd out on it basically. Well, we got a lot of Ninja appliances, and I love everything we got from Ninja. So I was like, I wonder if they got an espresso machine. And they had a few, but then I seen you could get on a wait list for this one. So I was like, heck yeah, I'm signing up for this wait list. So I signed up on the wait list on Thursday. I got an email Friday saying, oh, it's available. And I'm like, oh, this is meant to be. Buy now.
But he also, so he was doing this one morning when I came in the office, and he's like, you might could get the same discount or whatever.
Yeah.
So he sent me the link, and I was like, well, I'll buy one for the office because we just got an old Keurig here, and it does pretty good.
That's all I ever know. That's what I know.
What's Keurig, a poor excuse for coffee? What'd that guy say?
Oh, man.
What was the TikTok about it?
It was something about water. It was just stained water or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who was it? It was Theo Vaughn talking about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Keurig's poor excuse for coffee.
But anyway, I bought one. It was only like $4 something.
Yeah,
it wasn't
$4.50.
like it was like crazy. I mean, that's pretty high for a coffee. It ain't a Mr. Coffee or anything.
No,
but
it ain't your $20 Walmart coffee machine, but man, it does good.
He fired it up this morning for the first. It just came. It come in yesterday, I guess. And Mark, you come up here late yesterday.
Yeah,
and
got it set up.
Yeah. This morning he was making drinks.
How difficult was it to set up?
Nothing to it. It's so the deal is with this coffee machine, and your true baristas are not going to like this because it takes a lot of the guesswork out. Because it is just like us in cooking barbecue. It took us years to perfect this craft. Same thing with coffee. It takes you years to perfect how to get the perfect coffee. Well, this one kind of does it on its own. So it has built-in scales. So when you grind your coffee, it weighs your grinds, and then it measures the pressure it takes to get the extraction and all that. And it tells you like, hey, adjust your grind size from 12 to 10 or whatever. So it helps you, it coaches you along to become better. And the first one I made out of it was, I'm going to be honest, it was better than the one I've been making for 6 months now practicing.
And you thought you had it dialed in?
I thought I had it dialed.
Yeah.
But it makes darn good coffee. But we've done the hot espresso, we've done the cold press, I've done a cold brew. I haven't done the classic or anything like that. But
what's the classic? Just a regular
like drip coffee. Yeah.
So it'll do it all.
It'll do it all.
We just need the little squirt
flavors. Flavoring.
Yeah.
And we're not sponsored or promoting this thing or not. We're just talking about it.
No, but if y'all like coffee, check out the Ninja because it's pretty sharp.
So I'd figured out how many Starbucks would you have to buy to. It wouldn't but like 40 or 40. Something like that.
And if you're married, it's only 20 trips.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not bad.
Oh, well, me and Shell go pull in and get like a venti. It's like 11 something, almost 12. If you tip a buck or two, you spend almost $15 on 2 cups of coffee.
Well, see, I played my cards right because I'll leave the Ninja at home and my espresso machine is going in my barbecue trailer.
So you'll have dual action now.
I had to I might get a little rusty, but.
So how many cups do you think just a pack of beans will make?
It depends. Probably 8 or 10, roughly. Something like that.
8 or 10 shots or double shots?
Double shots.
8 or 10 double shots. And what's a pack of beans cost?
Shoot, much you want to spend?
Well, like the ones we're using in there, they like
$15, something like that.
So that's not
beans aren't cheap.
But you can't put like regular coffee in it already ground. It's got to be the beans.
It's got to be the beans. I mean, I guess you could try. I've tried it a couple times where I didn't have beans, and I was like, I'm just going to try these pre-ground, and they're so dry, it won't let the water pass through them. Like, it doesn't do the whole extraction, and you don't get that pretty color on that espresso shot and all that. So,
do you have a favorite bean that you prefer?
So, I thought I did. We've always used the French roast or the espresso roast from, like, the Starbucks bean or just something that you can get at your local grocery. And that seemed to be what worked best in my coffee maker, the one I had before. But now I'm able to go to like a lighter roast, like a medium roast. And I've done a medium roast at home this morning. Man, it was good. It was real good.
Can you tell the difference? Different beans?
Like, yes.
I'm not that much of a coffee
I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise you I could do. So what y'all have back there, this is espresso roast. I could get a medium roast and do it. And it's no doubt you could tell the difference.
So what would be the difference? It's lighter?
You get more. This sounds like a whiskey snob talking about coffee beans. You get more of the oak. No, you get more of a milder flavor that you just pick up on more of the coffee notes, and it's not. You lose a little bit of that strong bitterness, I guess you'd say, from like the espresso grind. Because I mean, the espresso was a dark roast.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this right here was like real light, and man, it was a good coffee this morning. So,
do you ever just drink like a straight little shot of espresso like that?
Sopranos?
Yeah, like sit in the little cup.
Yes.
So I don't give me a little table so we can sit outside here and me and Mark can sit out there.
We'll sit on the street side over there.
Heck yeah. Wave at folks when they go by. We'll be the old guys like the Sopranos sitting out there.
So I haven't done it with this machine yet, but on my old machine, I'll make a double shot and then I'll froth or steam just like a couple of tablespoons of milk and just top that double shot with just a little bit of cream. Emily says it's terrible. Man, I love it though. It's so good.
It's strong, isn't it? Yeah.
I tried one for the first time on vacation. You know, that little bar in the lobby thing had an espresso machine where you got all your coffee drinks. I'd never tried it. So I was like, yeah, just let me try it like that. I thought it's strong.
It's strong.
If you sip it, you taste so much flavor in it.
I think I figured out what it is. Old school smokers love espresso.
If you're used to smelling all that smoke and it's
because I mean it does kind of have like that strong flavor that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say old men, but
no, you like Copenhagen. You love espresso.
Oh, I believe Shell would love an espresso. It tastes like a Virginia Slim.
All right, is it espresso or espresso? How do you say it?
I don't know.
It's
We
like
say it all
salmon.
wrong. Yeah, salmon.
Salmon. That's how we say it in Mississippi.
My L's ain't silent.
You want to come to How Barbecue Right? Mark will make you an espresso.
Yeah, espresso.
That's a fast espresso. Did it come? I want to know if that Ninja came with like nunchucks and throwing stars. That's what when I think of Ninja. That's what.
Man, you think about that. Ninja started out with what?
Nunchucks and throwing stars. Now
Well,
they're
yeah.
coffee maker.
It was like a chopper.
Yeah, they had like a Ninja countertop chopper, and now they're probably one of the number one appliances out there.
Don't they have like vacuums too? And
the Shark vacuums made by Ninja?
I'm trying to think what we had. Oh, it's the Bullet, like the little blender. That was the Ninja Bullet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? The Magic Bullets. What it's called?
Mine wasn't made by Ninja.
It wasn't. Here's made by Adam.
Yeah, maybe Eve.
So this past weekend, took to
Change the subject.
so this past weekend we cooked a whole hog at a brewery.
No, we cooked a whole hog at an Airbnb.
And then hauled it over.
Yeah.
How did it do on the ride over?
I forgot about that freaking steep hill right there going to the square at Oxford. I was concerned. I figured our hog was going to be packed in the smokestack when we got to the event, but it rode good. It rode good.
You had it wrapped up, and I mean, it didn't slide or anything.
No, it was fine. I wouldn't want to drive all the way from Hernando going down the interstate with it, but
That might be a test. That goes back to our racing where we would say we wanted to do. We want to get Cletus set up where I'll get Ford Rangers and Outlaw pits behind them and see who can cook ribs.
All y'all listening, y'all
track.
tag Cletus McFarland. He's got the Danger Ranger 500. We want to do the Danger Ranger, but pulling smokers and cooking ribs at the Freedom Factory.
And the ribs is part of your score.
Yes.
So the ribs are on the pit while
you're
going.
driving them around the track.
So instead of lapping and getting tires, you're lapping and basting ribs.
Yeah. You got a pit crew that comes out.
And you can drive as fast as you want, but you might sacrifice your ribs.
Yeah.
So you got to play the game.
I would say the barbecue score needs to be way more balanced than the driver. Yeah, weighted than
the Ranger and Rib Rodeo. Let's go.
What if you had driver co-pilot? And then one person was the pit master and the other, so they paired you with racers. Like you would get to ride with Cletus.
I would ride with you. I'm gonna cook the ribs.
Yeah.
You just get us around the track.
You'd have to make special racks to hold them down or something.
No,
That's the whole point. You got to take that into consideration.
You stop and your ribs ain't even in the pit no more.
You gotta brush the charcoal off of them.
They're all down in the bottom.
We could probably get Outlaw involved, get him some, we could put some Hoosiers on it, some good slicks and good looking wheels. We'd have a race version. And
it would be a good test to see how those axles held up.
You have a jump, you get 10 extra points.
I want to do that. Have you seen them where they crisscross the school buses and stuff? Yeah, they'd be like that too, all in those trailers.
That's chaos. I'd be scared to death.
I mean, you'd have to have roll cages and crash helmets.
But anyways, back to the hog.
Yeah, so we cooked a hog and passed out sandwiches and tacos and
passed out
chicken sliders.
A lot.
We did 12 whole chickens, all pulled with made little sliders with those. We did the hog where we did part of it was kind of taco style, where we made and that's one flavor Mark's done perfected. It's so good.
So good.
But I never thought of doing it like that. But we do a taco style, and then part of it was just like barbecue sandwich hog with vinegar sauce. Just real simple.
We kind of combined two recipes of kind of what we did for like the ambassador event with the mojo and everything, but that's a very neutral flavor.
So talk about the mojo. What's that hog like?
It's delicious. It's the best. It's the best bite of pork.
So mojo, it's like a Cuban marinade, and a lot of times you saw them using those. Is it La Cocina? Is that how you say that hog box?
Yeah,
and they would cook. It was like a pig roaster,
China box or whatever they call it.
Yeah, but it was like a pig roaster, and they would do those mojo style where you inject them up or marinate the hog. Most time people use it as an injection, and then it's really simple. I don't even think they use anything other than salt for seasoning.
Yeah.
It's all that mojo flavor, but it's like a real citrusy, bright,
fresh flavor.
Yeah, fresh flavor. You get a lot of cumin from it, so it's kind of smoky tasting, but it goes really. It's excellent on pork. It's good on chicken too, but it's excellent on pork. So we had the idea. Did you say y'all used to do that with something or use it on pork loin? Or
we used to cook with it years ago, and I want to say we would do like marinated wings. Like we would throw it all in a cooler.
I remember that because Jay
do
brought some back from Honduras.
Yeah,
or
wherever he was at.
Yeah.
Ecuador.
Yeah.
But so I said, why don't we? Because you wanted to do a different style hog, so we thought you could take that. You could take some hot sauce, like Valentina hot sauce. You took cilantro,
and
onion, maybe
onion, cilantro, Valentinos, and mojo.
It made like a slurry with it, processed it up, and then that was the baste. I guess
that was the baste. And we got a lot of these ideas when we had the little hog hangout class with Jay and them. Chris Austin and his wife come over, and she's the one that kind of really got this going because I think her they're Cuban, I believe, and they done a lot of this cooking. That's how she's always cooked a hog. So
with the mojo.
And I got to talking to her, and Chris was like, man, we marinated, throw in a cooler, marinated it for a few days. He's like, it's outstanding. I was like, I got to try that. So we kind of took it and ran with it and kind of put our twist on it.
Did you marinate at all?
The hog, no. We just injected it that morning.
Have y'all ever marinated a whole hog?
I
haven't. We marinated that whole shoulder at the 4th of July that we'd done that same recipe on, which was outstanding. But
so it's kind of like a Mexican-inspired, Cuban-inspired flavor, but when it's done, it doesn't taste like it would pass as just a good eating hog. Yeah.
It's a very neutral flavor, and it gives you the ability to, however you finish that product is how the flavor, like if you want to make it for tacos, man, all you got to do is hit it with a little grande, a little Valentina's hot sauce, and it's ready for a taco. Or if you want to do sandwiches, pour some vinegar sauce on it and roll on, and it's a good middle-of-the-road flavor that will work for anything, but it's just a good savory flavor.
You get the citrus, you get the smokiness from the cumin, you get the salt. I mean, all the elements of it's really, really good.
It really I had a bite of the belly meat. It really brings out the flavor of just the whole.
The pork.
Yeah.
Oh, so before you did like anything, like we didn't top it with anything, I thought it tasted, you could pick it all up from the injection. Mm-hmm. And I guess, what'd you season that hog with before you cooked it?
It was basically AP, just salt, pepper, garlic, and a very, very light layer of hot rub.
Just to give it some color?
Just to give it a little bit of color, because we're cooking pretty hot and fast, so you got to watch out for those sugars. So we try to get all our salt on the front end, and we can get our sweet on the back end if we want it. But just a simple, it might have been a new rub in there that we were toying with to try, but it was
But that was the basis of it.
Yeah, that was the basis. Salt, pepper, garlic, and just a little bit of color.
And then when you unwrapped it, you glazed it with some more. You made up did you hit it with brub instead of rub then?
So we basted it with the same base, which was for this hog, we done mojo, vinegar sauce, and a little bit of Valentina's just for some salt and heat.
And a beer.
I
remember that, yeah.
And it's just a good, simple base, and we touch it up with rub for color, and
that was all it was.
That was it. I mean, it wasn't a glazed hog like you would see us do at the contest, but it was pretty.
Yeah,
and
it was.
It had good bark, and you go up there and just pull some of that belly meat out, and it was delicious.
It was tender. It was juicy.
Well, what I liked about it was so he pulled it, basically he just took all the bones out, shredded everything, like the loins mixed with the ham, mixed with the shoulder, mixed with the belly, and then put it all back in the cavity. And so you had a pretty much pulled hog sitting there ready to go. And then all we had to do was put it in a pan and take it over the table where we were prepping stuff. But it looked cool.
Well, you're still pulling from the hog, so you get that whole, people are standing in line watching you pull from that hog.
They can see it.
And they start asking questions. And in my mind, you're standing in line, you see that hog on a smoker, you're already tasting it,
Oh, let me tell you what's cool, that Hog Hideout. Y'all, you got to tell folks about that. Did you do the video? I know.
So I
recorded that video.
Yeah, I done a video with Jay, and then I done a little quick TikTok on it just to kind of get some information out there on it. But man, that's been a pit in the works for. If you go back to day one, we've talked about this before. Man, we've been working on this style pit for 3 or 4 years now, and it's just evolving over time, and we're figuring out what works and what makes it better, and how to make it easier and easy to use. And that was the biggest thing. If you would have told me 3 years ago, man, we got to cook a hog for event, I'm gonna be like, crap, man, that's a lot of work.
Got to get old Betty out.
Yeah, like, man, this is, 24 hours of just pure working your butt off cooking this hog, and cooking it this way, it's like cooking ribs. It's simple.
You put it on, went to bed, got up and wrapped it.
I got up one time during the night and we cooked a hog. Like any other time, you was up every hour tending to a fire, something like that. I got up one time during the night and got plenty of sleep, Don't get me wrong, I was still tired the next day, but it wasn't as involved as what most people think cooking a hog
on a stick burner.
On a stick burner.
Yeah.
But
so tell them about the hideout.
So we originally had the Hog, HAWG.
And this is Outlaw Smokers.
Outlaw Smokers.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit last week.
Yeah, y'all did. And it come from multiple pits. We talked about we want the, dripping on the coals. We want the airflow of a stick burner. We want the best of both worlds. And that's kind of what started it all. Well, with the hideout, these hog pits aren't light. They're pretty heavy. I mean, I want to say the cart model is 3,000 pounds, so I mean, it's heavy.
It's a load.
And with us going to contest cooking, if we make finals, or regardless, even if we don't or not, that pit stays hot for a while. So I was like, man, we got to load this in my enclosed trailer. It's still hot. Like, I want this on a trailer, like one where we can hook up and go. And then we wanted to be able to do things like we did this weekend and be able to go to events, have everything you need on that trailer to cook a hog, to where you're not filling the cab of your truck up. Everything you need is on that trailer. So that's kind of the layout and design behind it. So we have storage for our charcoal, storage for our wood. We have a pull-out shelf or a pull-out drawer that holds our aluminum foil, all our rubs, our thermometers, our dots, everything like that. Pull out for the cooler. Storage on top. You can put your tents up there, strap them down. So everything we done or needed for that hog was all on that trailer. And you're still able to cook on a stick burner. You still get the airflow. We're still cooking over coals. And it just made it simple. Now, me and Shell looked at the house we cooked at thinking this driveway's perfect. We didn't know it was a 45-degree incline
to get up in
going in the driveway. Yeah. So we did have a little tricky maneuver in getting the hog pit set up in the driveway. But once we got it set up, man, it was a simple cook. Simple.
I wonder if those VRBO people noticed that you were cooking a whole hog in their driveway.
They had security cameras.
They had security cameras outside, and every time I went out, I thought it was a motion light coming on. I didn't realize it till the next morning that it was the light on the camera coming on.
Like a blink cam or something?
So I'm pretty sure that lady seen me a couple times in my Saks underwear out there checking on a hog at 3 a.m. But
she's probably like, "What in the world?
What did I done?
All the neighborhood cats are lined up waiting on you to spill something.
Oh, they didn't have to wait. Neighborhood cats got juiced up.
So, can he do any other pit on the hideout frame?
Yes,
because the hideout frame it's mainly meant to be like a one-stop trailer for outdoor.
The hideout itself is a Swiss Army knife of a trailer.
Yeah.
Why is it called the hideout?
Just because you go off the grid with it if you want to.
So he got a lot of the inspiration from a lot of these overlanders you see in Jeeps or these overlander like camping trailers that, you can take off-road, and they got bigger suspension and tires and stuff. And that was kind of the gist of the inspiration behind it. The trailer itself, yes, it's an expensive trailer, but you're able to kind of build it out how you want. So if you want to do, a ton of storage and have a cooker on one side, that's no problem. You can have it to where it has, set up TVs on it for a tailgate.
That would be cool. Tailgater.
Put a solar panel, a couple of lithium, battery packs. You could run your tailgate on it. You could do whatever. You can. I mean, we got one guy that's kind of wanting where our cargo rack is to take one of those fold-out Jeep tents that go on the roof of a Jeep. You get to a contest or get to your cook, you flip it out, you sleep in the tent beside the pit.
Nah, that'll get too hot. So ain't no way.
You wouldn't do it in Mississippi right now.
Yeah, no, you die.
But I mean, it's kind of one of the things you can pick and choose. And, we've even looked at where our pull-out cooler is for a hog. You could easily put a smoker right there, have your hog pit on this side, and have a whole nother smoker on that pull-out drawer to pull it out to where you have 2 pits there. So that's even been in the discussion. And you can put any size pit on there you want. We have the hog pit is a 30-80 with the hot boxes.
What's 30-80 mean?
30-inch diameter, 80 inches long. So that's the size of the barrel itself, the cook chamber barrel. And I mean, he's got Jamie Roby in Texas. He has I think it's a 2860 is what he has on Hideout trailer. And it's pretty slick. It's built similar to ours, a little different layout. He has a little bit more storage room just because the pit itself doesn't take as much room on the trailer. But it's a blank canvas. You have anything in the world you want to use with it, and you can make it happen.
That's pretty smart.
And I like because you're kind of self-sustained.
Yeah.
Everything's on that trailer. It's got a spot. So when you don't have to have another supply trailer or everything strapped down the back end of your truck.
Right.
You still have the whole truck if you want to haul other stuff.
And Jay's one of them people, if you call him and say, hey, I want to build a hideout, but I want to do something different, he's all ears. He's ready. He wants to go. And
now, it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap, no. But if you look at the big picture of what some of these pits are going for nowadays, it's not far off.
Yeah.
Considering what you're getting. And I know a lot of people asking online, like, what's this price? What does it cost? I don't know. Like,
you're not the price guy.
I'm not the price guy.
More
but
concept.
I know what I paid for my pit, but it's one of them things like you can build it out however you want. It might cost you $18,000. It might cost you $30,000. You don't know. It's what you want on the pit. Mm-hmm. And so I always try to tell people, just call Jay. If you're serious about looking at something like this, just call Jay. He'll walk you through it. Jay's going to answer the phone. He's going to be one of the best customer services you've ever dealt with when it comes to a pit. But he'll get you straight and he'll tell you what works, what doesn't work. Hey, I recommend this. Hey, I wouldn't do that. And the pit's perfect. I mean, we put the hog on about 9:30. We wrapped at midnight. I stayed up. We watched the movie. I went out there and checked on it every few minutes. At midnight, it had plenty of color. I wrapped it in foil, put 3 big old splits in the firebox, and I went to bed. And it ran 325 from midnight. When I got up at 3 o'clock, it was still sitting on 325.
So you were running it at 325? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then it's just where it liked. I didn't really, once I set the vents, I never fooled with it again. I just let it go. And 6 hours, the shoulders were done. They probably were really done in about 5.5. The shoulders temped out about 210, put them in the Cambro, checked on the hog, put 3 more splits in there and went to bed, got up at 6 o'clock, the hog's done. Like,
and you just held it. You're just holding it after that, yeah.
And the thing about the way this pit runs, you can put the coals down below and you can hold that pit at 160 and hold a hog as long as you want to hold it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a proof and oven.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
So do you have to overshoot those shoulders and hams to get them just right since you're kind of cooking it faster?
Yes. You're not, I wouldn't say you're overshooting it. It just, you have to be able to render and break that meat down. So if we were cooking at 250, them shoulders would have been done
198.
We have 198. Yeah. Well, because we're blowing right through that stall, like really, you don't see a stall on these pits. Like, you know, if you're cooking at 250, you'll see it hit 170 and it throws the brakes on. It might stay at 170 2 or 3 hours. Well, with these pits here, you don't see that. You blow right on through 170, you're at 200, and you go in there and, oh man, it's 200 degrees. They might be over, and you check them, they're tight as can be. So you have to push, like usually pork, I want to go to 207, 208 without even guessing, you know.
When you're cooking the hot and the fat.
Now, the hog does the opposite. I'm not a scientist. I can't explain this. Shoulders will take to 205, 210, just depending. But a hog, it'll never get there. A hog, 195, and it's just as soft as that shoulder at 210. And I don't know if it's just because it's a bigger mass and maybe.
What about the ham?
No, the shoulder itself on the hog.
Oh.
It never got over 200 on that hog the other day, and you seen how soft it was.
I thought you said it was 210.
No, the shoulders, the separate shoulders.
Yeah, the whole shoulder.
The whole shoulder.
I got you. I'm following you now.
So we had 2.
I forgot you had. See, we didn't even say that.
Yeah, we had 2 20-pound shoulders on there with that 140-pound hog. We cooked it all together. So the shoulders were done in 5.5 hours. And
you cooked a whole shoulder,
20-pound shoulder in 5.5 hours.
That's fast.
And it was that shoulder was outstanding.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Good shoulder.
So how do you keep from nuking those loins in that hog? Do you have them protect them, juice them up, and keep them cool or something?
Yeah.
Because you're cooking. I mean, I ain't trying to get all your secrets. But.
Yeah, no, we insulate the loins. Yeah. We take sausage just like anybody does. You got to slow the loins down. That doesn't matter it doesn't matter what pit you're cooking on. You have to insulate loins. We don't have to insulate as much because we can control the heat underneath the hog, so we can keep the heat off the loins underneath it. And then just let the airflow of the stick burner itself cook them.
When you say insulate, explain insulate.
So we put mass, we put meat, we put poundage of meat around the loins because in a contest, now we didn't insulate these loins the other day because this was an eating hog. We didn't.
You wanted to shred.
Yeah, we wanted to pull and everything like that. But at a contest level, we want to be able to slice those loins.
We did put that belly on top of it.
We did, but I mean,
it wasn't super.
Yeah, that was a 3 or 4 pound half belly. Like
that was just for extra meat.
Yeah, we put usually 10 or 12 pounds of sausage around those loins. But in a contest setting, you want to get those shoulders to 195, those hams to 185, 187, but you still want that loin to be 145, 150. So you have to slow it down, and there's tons of ways to do it. I mean, there's guys that put bags of ice on them. I mean, we've put ice on them before if we're in a pinch, or you go back in and inject them again with some room temperature injection, and you slow them down. You can control those loins. There's plenty of ways to do it.
I've seen one guy, he actually rigged up a system where it would run cold water underneath it. During the cooking process. It gets crazy, yeah.
Dwayne had that.
Yeah.
Rib lickers.
But, I mean, for an eating hog or when you're trying to feed the masses, who cares? Just cook that hog, and it's going to be good.
Because you're going to shred it all.
You're going to mix it all in. To me, that's what makes whole hog so good is you're mixing that ham and that shoulder and that loin. You get a little bit of that belly and
a little crispy outside.
A little crispy, and that's a good bite.
Well, one thing that Hideout has, it's got like that drip pan right up under the cavity.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. It catches all the mess, but it's got to help as almost like a diverter right underneath the loin too. So
I haven't done a biscuit test on this pit, and I'm going to because it's so much going on.
What's a biscuit test?
To load it up with biscuits and see which ones burn and see where your hot spots are.
Canned biscuits.
Yeah. And you can do it with toast. You can do it with whatever, but that gives you a sense of what that airflow's doing. And with this pit, because you have 3 fires in it. You have your firebox and you have your 2 hot boxes underneath the hog. So you got 3 fires, and you're really not having to tend to the ones under the hog. They pretty much run themselves the entire cook. Like we'll load it up one time with charcoal, and it'll maintain through most of the cook. You might have to put a handful of coal in there, but I don't even think about it.
It's more of a flavor box.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's
you get residual heat, and it's really just dripping on the coals. And I just want to see what that pit does. I want to see
nothing in it, just No mass.
Yeah, just see where the airflow is going. Because when I say it's some airflow, like people talk about these stick burners and these big propane tanks drawing air. I promise you there's not a pit out there that draws like that hog pit does. You can put a whistle on that exhaust stack and it'll blow it. Like it's moving some air.
Pulling.
Yeah.
I know we passed out some food. I was like, we're going to have so much pulled pork left over.
I didn't know how many people would come. I didn't really have an idea. It means in Oxford at a brewery that's fairly new. I don't think they've had the year anniversary yet. But we did advertise a little on the podcast and through the social channels, and folks turned out. I mean, it was awesome.
Oh,
we were a hog in like an hour and 20 minutes. The whole hog.
I don't know that we made it to an hour.
Yeah. We weren't even in an hour yet. And I said, we need more pulled pork. Mark goes, this is our last pan.
Of hog, yeah. But we had two shoulders.
We had the two shoulders.
If we'd have cooked, we could have went through two hogs.
Oh,
if
no
we'd had
problem.
Another hog, we could have went
And
through
that pit, like the way that hog cut down, we could have put two of those hogs in that
I believe
pit.
you could.
And
I think you could cook two on it.
Oh, man. That would be so good. That'd be a cool shot, too.
Yeah, double hog cooker.
Double hog.
Especially if you did them like tail to tail and had them in there. Well, the great thing about it is that rack carousels.
You can spin it.
So you can spin it. I mean, Jake could probably make it to where each one would spin.
Two separate. Cut that out. Don't give him no ideas. Do not let him hear that.
The double hog pit.
Yeah.
The double hog.
He'd have them on gears to where when you turn one, it automatically spins the second one.
Yeah.
And then the lights and the fog machine come on.
No, don't give him no ideas.
Right there.
Tuesday, we cooked for the local police down at the smokehouse. Did a little entertaining.
And tell you what, every time that Mark's been over there and we've cooked ribs on that Outlaw that's there in the smokehouse, they have been phenomenal.
And I know we're talking a lot about Outlaw and juicing his up, but I'm going to tell y'all, it is.
We ain't sponsored by him. He's just our buddy.
Yeah. What was the old cathead? We ain't sponsored by him. We do it because we like it.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, it's that 2660. I told Jay that yesterday. So we've discovered last year cooking ribs a lot, that the patio is a rib cooking machine. You put 8 slabs in that patio and it'll cook some of the best ribs you've ever had in your life. The 2660 is the patio version of a comp pit. It's the same way. That pit don't miss. Like we didn't even baby those ribs. We just cooked them.
We were just eating.
How many slabs was it? It was a bunch.
Dozen.
Yeah, 12 slabs.
Like, was it like 8 spares and 4 baby backs?
And nothing was cut down. They were big St. Louis spares.
Even the baby back, man, them jars are wide too.
Yeah.
What did the cops like better? Did they give
Man, them boys didn't care.
Oh, the ribs. I mean, we did ribs and wings. That was the only 2 meats we had. And then we did beans and mac and cheese and broccoli salad.
Yeah.
Some desserts and stuff. But it was a lunch.
It was lunch.
But we put the hurt on them. I mean.
Yeah. It was one of them said, we ain't running today.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't want to, if you was committing crimes around there, you was going to get shot in the back. They wasn't chasing you.
He come up there and he said, man, I cook ribs. I can't remember who it was. He come up to me. He's like, I cook ribs about every weekend. He said, but man, I just can't get mine to taste like that.
Yeah. But I mean, it was fairly simple recipe.
Yeah.
I mean, you put hot rub and AP on the rib and ran it. And then
50-50 sauce.
What was in the wrap? Just butter and vinegar?
Butter and vinegar sauce. That was it. I mean, it was just a simple eating rib, but it was good.
And they cooked in 3.5, 4 hours. And then we held them a little bit on the counter. Didn't even stick them in the box.
Well, it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was
hot out there.
Yeah. But they were fantastic. Now the wings, they were good, but
I thought the wings were really good.
I didn't get to eat a wing.
they were good. But they didn't hold a candle to those
I mean, it's
ribs.
A wing's good, but when you got a rib that's good, a good rib to me is better than a good wing.
Well, I ran 2 butts overnight on the grill just to send to the guys that were on duty that couldn't come out there. So and y'all pulled those, didn't you?
We pulled those. One of the police officers was sitting at the island inside, and he was talking to y'all. His back was to you. So I just reached up and grabbed some of them tubes out of that butt and set on his plate. I drizzled him a little sauce, didn't say nothing until he turned around and said, well, daggone, I don't remember getting that, but that's good. You know?
He didn't know what that was.
He didn't know where it come from.
I said, Mark, was it good? He said, heck yeah, it's good. He didn't know what it was, but it was awesome.
We have ran some pits in the last few weeks. Between 500 donut holes on Outlaw in Michigan, to cooking hogs, to cooking ribs.
Donut. We did.
How many pounds of chicken did we cook in Michigan?
64.
Yeah.
A lot.
Now is a good time for us to pause and pay some bills.
The How to BBQ Right podcast is brought to you by our friends at Primo Grills. Shell, Did you know that Primo is the only ceramic grill made right here in the good old USA?
What? Are you telling me that Primo grills are proudly crafted here in the USA, ensuring top-notch quality and support for local craftsmanship?
I sure am. Plus, Primo Grill not only delivers mouth-watering flavor, but because of their innovative oval design and superior ceramic construction, Primo Grills also gives you a ton of cooking versatility.
Whether you're smoking low and slow or searing a steak to perfection, Primo Grills gives you the consistent heat distribution for mouth-watering results every time.
What she said, y'all. Y'all visit primogrill.com and check them out.
Mark, you recently got a new outdoor cooking apparatus.
It's apparatus, all right.
It's not a smoker or grill. What'd you get, a pizza cooker?
I bought a pizza oven. And we talk about...
What?
I was trying to get him subliminally ready to cook some pizzas for us.
Oh,
bring it up here.
Cook it up here at lunch. So me and Jay with Outlaw have a running joke that I make him spend a lot of money. Well, it goes both ways.
Yeah, we just bought a $500 coffee maker.
Yeah, thanks.
It goes both ways, yeah.
But Jay makes me spend a lot of money too because Jay got the pizza oven first. So he called me he sent me a video. He's like, look at this. And I was like, oh, I've been wanting a pizza oven for a while. And he bought I can't pronounce it right.
Umi?
No. Crap. I got to look
Google it.
Google it. I always forget the brand. Anyways, he bought the big one. And bear with me.
Which one did you buy?
I bought the portable one. So it is
Is it the same brand?
Yeah, Gozney pizza ovens.
Spell that for me.
Gozney. So Jay bought a Gozney Dome, which is like their big dog. I want to say it's like $2,000 or it's pretty pricey.
I think he was planning on cooking a bunch of pizza, isn't he?
It's a stout. It's a heck of a pizza oven. I was like, man, the thing about a pizza oven is it's only good to cook a pizza in. That was my train of thought. I was like, we cook pizzas a couple times a year. I don't want to spend that kind of money. So I bought the Rock Box, which is made by Gozney, but it's their portable travel one. It's like $450 or something. It's not bad. So I bought it. Jay had the big one. I brought it home, fired it up. It'll go to 900 degrees like instantly. Like it's pretty dang quick.
It's not wood fired.
No, it's gas.
You propane, right?
And so we started toying with pizzas, and let me tell you, those pizzas are phenomenal. Like I've cooked a good pizza on a pellet grill before. Like a really.
You had the shells, and you were doing them on the griller, and they were good.
They were good, but man, it's something about you throw it in there, and that old dough blows all up, and you get all those. What do they call them? They got a name for it. Leopard spotting or something. When it does all that, God,
is that the little bubbles and stuff that's on it? Yeah.
But
you got a good pizza crust when you.
So have you got into making the crust too?
Oh, I'm not gonna get into that. I buy the dough balls.
Yeah.
And I found some really, really good dough balls here locally. And we tried a bunch of different ones. And you think a dough ball is a dough ball, and it's not. Like we've had 3 different ones here locally, and all 3 of them are completely different. They cook different. They taste different. They're all good, but there's a art to that too. And I don't have no idea. There's people that get all into the moisture content and all that. We're just cooking pizza. But I started doing pizzas on it, and then I was like, man, let's try something different. So I've done tuna steaks. I've done fillets. I've done cookie dough pizza that was delicious with Oreos and chocolate chip cookies. That was outstanding.
When you're cooking like fish or steak or something on there, do you put it on something?
I put it on the little thin cast iron skillet that doesn't have sides.
Yeah.
It's like a
fajita
like a fajita skillet. I put it in there and preheat the skillet, and then I slide it out and I put my fish, tuna, whatever on it, put it back in there, and it sears it. I flip it once, sear it, and it'll cook tuna in just 45, 50 seconds. I
bet it would do scallops and shrimp.
Oh, so I guarantee it.
Really good.
One of the best things is that darn bread cheese. That bread cheese y'all done the recipe on. You take that bread cheese and put it in a cast iron skillet and put it in there, and you can put toppings on it. Oh my goodness.
Does it melt?
No, but it gets real light. It almost like it puffs up, and I guess it gets almost melty on the inside, and it kind of puffs up like a marshmallow. But it's good.
How do you eat it, with crackers or bread?
I'll eat it with a spoon.
Whatever you can get in.
Whatever device you got to get it to your mouth.
Just my mouth. That's all I need.
But we've enjoyed it, man. It's been fun, and we're probably going to cook some this weekend. I hadn't cooked one in a couple of weeks, but we'll do that. And then like when we buy the dough balls, I'll get a dough ball and don't stretch it out. Just kind of like barely kind of flatten it out, kind of puff it up and pour olive oil on it and put the whole dough ball in there and puff it up. It's good bread. I mean,
so it makes like a Italian loaf almost or something like that.
What they call it? A
focaccia?
Focaccia.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we'll put olive oil and basil and all that on top of it and throw it in there, and it's good.
And if you buy the dough balls, it makes it so much, it's so easy.
Yeah.
You just pat it out and
what I
top
learned.
It and go.
So we have Boncebo here in town. I've always bought their dough balls, and it's dough balls. Theirs are really easy to work with. So like if you've never tried to like stretch out dough, like you poke holes in it, you can do everything wrong. This is very, very forgiving, and it gets a really, really crispy crust. But I bought 10 of them one weekend, and we used like 5 or 6 of them. And I just left them in the fridge. They're wrapped in saran wrap. And I was like, I guess they're still good. So like later on in the week, I got them back out and they were still good. But after they sit in the fridge for a couple of days, they just got better. It's like you could stretch it more. You could it was easier to work with. And the flavor was almost like a sourdough. Like it come through a lot stronger. And it was really, really good.
So you'd rather them be 4 or 5 days old?
Yeah, but I'm sure they go through so much. They don't have the opportunity to let them age.
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you, couple 4 or 5 days on them dough balls from when I picked them up from them was light years better than getting it fresh.
So what size pizza can you cook in that one?
12 or 14, I think.
Which is that's a big pizza.
It's perfect for one person.
Yeah.
I'll put this phone over here. I keep messing with it.
It's no different than going to Pyros or one of those places where you get your own and, you can put your toppings on it. So I'm thinking like you got folks over, you just buy a dozen dough balls and let everybody cook their own pizza and have the toppings laid out, and all of a sudden you got one of your favorite things, like pizza bar.
And that was
like, you like taco bars or hot dog bars, you got a pizza bar.
And we done that because like Jody and his wife Rachel and their boys come over. We'll give everybody a dough ball, like make your pizza, I'll cook them, And that was the selling point on the Rock Box versus all the other ones I looked at is there were several guys that done videos and running them back to back, taking a pizza out, putting another one right in and cooking them. It done the best. Because your stone temperature is so important of cooking that pizza evenly, and it would maintain like you want it to be around 700, 750, and it had no problem maintaining that. And really, like you almost got to pump the brakes on it sometimes because like it'll get hot, like it'll get super hot.
What's the time frame?
Yeah, how long does it take to cook one?
60 seconds, maybe.
Oh, okay. Wow. Maybe. Oh yeah, so you can cook 12 pizza fast.
No time. It's as quick as you can get them in there. You better be ready to start spinning and checking and flipping and raising. And
does it do you have to manually spin it, or does it doesn't turn?
No, it don't turn. I looked at some of the ones that turn, but the deal is with that is you want to move that pizza to hot parts of that stone. So when you put the pizza on that stone, it's going to start cooling that portion off. Well, when you're spinning it, you're gradually setting it in a fresh spot every time. So you're keeping it on a hot portion. Well, if you got a stone that you don't have to spin the pizza, it goes in there and sits, it cools the stone off. You're defeating the purpose, in my opinion. You're cooking it great from the top, but the bottom's not cooking as good.
So are you like spinning every 15 seconds or something? So you got to stand there with it. I mean,
you don't leave it. No, you do not leave it. So you have your pizza peel, and then you have a turning device that's like a smaller version that's kind of round, so you can move it and you spin the pizza with it. And they got
once it's set, like it sets in 15 seconds to where it
sets way quicker than that.
Yeah.
Like I wait for my crust to puff up. And that's another thing I didn't realize. When you're stretching your dough, you want to start in the middle and push out. And what you're doing is you're pushing those air pockets out to the crust so your crust does puff up. So as soon as I see the crust puff up and start getting a little color on it, you spin it 90 degrees. Spin it 90 degrees. And once you make full one turn, most of the time it's ready to come out. And it depends on the toppings too. Like
you load it up like ultimate meat lovers.
I want 2-3 toppings.
That's me. Like, and plus you have to build the pizza to match the pizza oven. So like if you put a whole bunch of toppings on there, you're going to burn some stuff before you get everything hot and melty. So really the less toppings, the better.
I think so too. Cause I want to pick it up. I don't want all my toppings falling off. And
no, it's not like, it's more of a New York style pizza. It's not a Chicago big deep dish, I like them too.
I mean, I'm
bread, cheese, meat, sauce.
I cook my pizza casserole in the regular oven for an hour and a half, and then cook my fast pizzas for 60 seconds.
We'll have to get them up here.
I've been wanting us to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the computer right there in front of you. Buy now.
I got a birthday coming up. It'll be a good birthday present.
There we go.
Pizzas and espressos.
It's if I get me a meat slicer up here, we just do Italian deli. Pizzas, espressos, and
That's
sliced meats.
That was one of my favorite
You are
ones.
turning into Sopranos. You just need some sweatpants.
What was their store?
Track
The
suit.
pork store? That's where they hung out at? The pork store?
I'm lost on this conversation.
You don't
never-
watch Sopranos?
I ain't never watched
That's out of you're probably too young.
I mean, I see it on Netflix all the time. I just ain't never.
Go back and watch it.
It's worth the watch.
Cellos. Something like that's where they hung out at.
Last night we made tuna fish salad for
I
dinner.
know. I sounded so good too.
You
When I-
brought that up. You said something about it the other day. What do y'all eat? Tuna fish sandwiches? I was like, ooh, that actually sounded good to me.
Yeah.
You was joking, but I was like, that sounded good to me.
It's like summertime. You know, it reminds me of summertime.
on some white bread, sticks to the
That's
roof of your
exactly
mouth.
what
It's
I
so
did.
good.
I went home. I did some eggs in my little Father's Day egg cooker. It does easy boiled eggs.
You kill me with these
Gadgets.
freaking as seen on
you
TV
can't tell
gadgets.
me you got all the ninja stuff.
You got a rice cooker. And
I know.
he gets so mad if you talk bad about his rice cooker
What's wrong with having a rice cooker?
because it makes 1 cup of rice at a time.
It'll make 2. I think it'll do 3. Actually.
3 hours later, we got enough for one thing of gumbo.
When the little song comes on, it's ready.
Yeah.
You just start your rice when you start making your roux, and your rice is ready at the same time the gumbo is.
Is the rice better in the rice cooker versus the pot?
Absolutely. It's perfect every time. Steam, there's no clumpiness. It's perfect rice.
The egg cooker does it. That does work.
How do you think they make rice in the sushi restaurants? They don't boil it in a pot. It's in a rice cooker.
Yeah, but their rice cooker is actually bigger than a coffee cup.
But,
Yeah.
but I ain't making that much.
You got the world's smallest rice cooker. Then we get to deer camp. It's like, it's 20 of us. Make the rice. Hang on one at a time.
We're going to eat shifts.
Yeah. We just need to get you a 5-gallon rice
Rice
cooker.
cooker. Shell gets mad at me for cooking too much rice.
That is easy to do. Noodles
Hey,
and rice are the
see-
hardest thing to get right on quantity.
They are, but the great thing is that you got a flat top. You just put those extra noodles in the refrigerator and get them good and cold, or the rice. You go out there and do stir fry with it. Man,
Now,
it makes
I will
the best
say-
fried rice after it's been refrigerated. Or noodles like that too.
That
Lo
rice
mein.
cooker does cook better rice for like the reheat.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times you cook rice, it's I guess it absorbs so much water. It sticks all together and it gets clumpy and it don't reheat good. But that rice out of the rice cooker is good.
It
Does
don't
it steam it versus
yeah,
boil it?
It doesn't boil
okay.
it. Yeah. There's no way to get it messed up. Like it's foolproof.
It's got
There's
one
no
button.
there's no gadgets. Yeah, it's one button on. It's got a level on the thing. You put this much rice, this much water, turn it on.
What
and
song does it sing?
Something like that. I don't know exactly what it is.
The little egg cooker.
It sings too. That goddamn washing machine sings at home. I don't know why they decided they had to put alerts like that on
You know
that thing.
what? Y'all got me beat. You got the hot dog nacho machine. You got more hot dog cookers, so you can't say nothing about Malcolm and his egg and
If
rice
they
cooker.
make a sheen, I want it.
I've been eyeing a popcorn machine.
Ooh, that would smell good up here in the shop.
Yeah. We could pass it out to all
Well,
the
you
customers.
could have tasters of rub and you try all the different seasonings with the
Ooh.
popcorn.
Justified.
That's a business expense. All of a sudden, it's a business expense. It's not for pleasure
It's like
anymore.
Man, we'll be like a used
And then we
car
can do
lot.
movie night.
That's on our agenda too. Driving movie theater.
I do have a couple questions from the community.
Let's get them.
Blake, and I thought this would be very appropriate since Mark's here. Blake says that he usually smokes spare ribs, but this weekend he decided to try baby backs. $2.25 for about 2.5 hours on the egg, wrap for an hour, glaze for an hour. The bite and pull was perfect, but they were very, very dry.
Wrap them at 2 hours.
He did spritz them every 30, 45 minutes, but
Honestly, on an egg, you probably could wrap them at an hour and a half. Because I bet they got color quick.
Yeah. I would think it's probably, if they got done, it was way hotter than 225.
Yeah. And see,
225 usually takes you to the old 3-2-1 method.
Mhm.
Because, I mean,
and he
to
glazed.
get them ready in 2.5, and then how long do you wrap? 2 full?
Wrapped for an hour, and then he glazed for an hour. That
glazing
probably-
for an hour.
That
dry-
grill was at least
Yeah.
250, 275. Really, well, at the great temp to get there that fast.
For an
But-
egg, I would say
And that's a loin backs, depending on where you get them, they're naturally dry.
Yeah.
They're going to be drier.
I would say run the egg at 275 and wrap at a probably hour and a half.
Yep.
And a lot of people, I've learned this cooking ribs is, a lot of people, we're always put butter, brown sugar, put whatever in your wrap. But whatever you put in your wrap, always put an equal amount of some type of liquid. And I'm not talking about a honey. I'm talking about a water, H2O liquid,
Juice.
apple juice,
Chicken
water.
broth. Yeah.
Put something in there that can create steam, because butter does not steam. Brown sugar does not steam. So you're not putting anything that would actually make steam in that wrap.
What about a vinegar sauce? Would that steam?
Nope.
No.
It'll burn. It'll burn before it'll ever steam.
And that's when you've ever had them burn up on bottom. That's why they do it, because it ain't got anything in there to help it steam.
It could be a beer. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be something that is a water-based liquid that'll actually make steam.
And you need, in the slab of ribs, you need
juice will work.
Maybe a quarter cup. We're not talking about a gallon.
Yeah, no.
You ain't putting a whole lot, but you need that poured in there.
Like I always tell everybody, you need equal parts. You need a fat, a spice, a sweet, and a liquid. Equal parts.
Rib wrap?
Yep. Put a quarter cup of each. You got 1 cup of something in there to every slab of rib, and you're fine. But it's either, whatever you put in there, you got to have a fat, and you got to have either a sweet or spice, and then a liquid. So that's kind of my thing on ribs. But the liquid makes a big difference.
So add a liquid, cut its original cook time down.
I wouldn't glaze, but maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah. The glaze for an hour.
Yeah.
The glaze for an hour is
3, 2, 1 got everybody hung up on that. And that whole time that rib sitting in there is cooking everything it's got out. Everything you worked hard to build is gone.
So Matt has a question. I'm cooking my first backyard comp next weekend. It's pulled pork and leg quarters. I'm good on my pork, but what do I do with the leg quarters? Should I inject? Should I scrape a skin? I just need a simple prep idea.
Brown them if you can. I wouldn't scrape skin.
Nope.
You don't need to scrape skin.
I sent him you and Fire Dancer's chicken thigh recipe. Take that exact same recipe, except just do quarters. It'll still cook in the same amount of time. You don't got to scrape skin. You're going to
Fire Dancer didn't scrape. Yeah.
Mm-mm. I remember when I did those quarters. What was that chicken called? It was like Mississippi Fire Chicken or something I did. Where I made that chicken rub. Man, that makes an excellent quarter.
But
you could, and I gave that. I think the recipe
you didn't
for that
glaze
seasoning.
that one.
No, but you could take what Mark's saying and use more of a coarse seasoning, a little spicy seasoning on the outside, so it gives that leg quarter a little crunch. It would be really, really good done like that. You can still cook them, and you can just put smoke on them, cook them in butter, and dip them in sauce. They're going to be good.
Anytime I'm cooking chicken, period, for a contest, I look back at that video, like for real, because that's a no miss opportunity. Like that recipe will hit every time, because if you render the fat, it's going to be good. You're going to cook it till it's tender, 205 at least. Like when we went to the IBCA in Michigan, I've never cooked a chicken half a day in my life. I took that recipe, converted applied it to a chicken half, and we walked away with first place that day. I mean, it's simple. So don't overthink chicken. Just get it tender. A lot of people want to pull it too quick. Take that quarter to 200. Render.
Dark meat's going. It's going, man. Just when it gets 200, it's just right.
And if you take that dark meat to 165, you swear it's raw and it's going to be tough as nails.
So when you cooked your half chickens, did you have a butter bath?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you butter bath.
I put it in a pan, or I put it on a cooling rack, put it on there 45 minutes, got smoke, got color, take that cooling rack and all, put it in a pan, had some melted Kerrygold, drizzled over the top of the skin, wrapped it in foil, put my probe in the breast and set it in there, and that was it. 2 hour. I mean, it was 2 hour chicken.
So you didn't bathe it in butter?
No, I mean, it had a couple sticks, but a chicken half, it wasn't submerged.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be. I mean, you just want to create some steam, and you want to just get that skin soft so it renders.
Add a little bit of richness.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kerrygold. It's got to be good.
And I just happened to see this in the community. Rampage Barbecue posted a Boudin Meatloaf. I thought that was a really good idea.
How did you do it like smoked barbecue style, where it glazed it and everything? Was it just pretty. Boudin? Like made a loaf of Boudin, or
I didn't read the whole recipe.
Yeah.
I just
I'm gonna have to check. I didn't see that one. I need to go look at that.
Yeah,
I could see where that.
I love me some Boudin.
Oh,
or is it meatloaf like mixed with the Boudin in the middle of it?
No, it was like Boudin.
The whole thing was like a rice meatloaf, like a rice loaf.
I'm thinking that mixing that and doing stuffed bell peppers with the Boudin and ground beef.
That's a good idea.
Because Mama used to always put rice in her stuffed bell peppers. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
You might could just do. I've never done it, but I bet you could just
Boudin
do
stuffed pepper.
Yeah. Just take Boudin out of the case and stuff it in the.
Throw it off in a jalapeno or bell pepper.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be excellent. I've used like Boudin stuffed and birds before. Like I've done quail with it. I've done chicken with it.
Boudin stuffed bell pepper with a crawfish cream sauce over the top.
Yes.
That'd be really good.
That's a solid.
Serve it with some rice or some mashed potatoes.
Or some bread or some more carbs.
Like, the bad thing, like when you do,
Butter.
I don't like doing the whole stuffed peppers because it's just a big old deep.
Yeah, it never gets tender.
I do.
You do them in half and then lay it down. You get the inside to pepper ratio is better.
Get all that melted cheese on top.
And then, oh man, that's excellent.
I agree. It's real hard to eat them when it's a whole pepper like that too.
Pepper boats.
Yeah, pepper boats. There was a whole conversation going on about what you did. What was your profession before you got into barbecue? Did you see that one?
No.
They were funny.
What was I may have seen that. What was read me something. Did you read any? Did you write any of them down?
A few people came on and said, like, I worked with him back in the day as a bellman at Sam's Tail Casino.
Who said that?
Corey Puckett.
Yep, I know Corey. Heck yeah, he worked at the front desk.
And Casey Starr said me too.
I know Mr. Casey too. Man, I ain't heard from those guys in forever. Now, Sam, I'm telling you what, that's one of my favorite jobs I ever have is a bellman at a casino. You talk about knowing everybody.
Wasn't no sneaking past.
No, I met a Van Holyfield, and he fought Tyson in Memphis. Their camp was there at Samstown. Met B.B. King. I met all kinds of people. Oak Ridge Boys.
Somebody come
David
in with
Allen Coe.
David Allen. I went on his tour bus. He had a line on his tour bus. You talk about scared. I went up in that bus to get his suitcases to take out, and there's a line laying up in the bed in there. It was like, come on in. That's a weird dude. It was cool, but
you pass that bag through the window.
Well, you imagine how it smelled on the full-grown line in there. It's like, dang, what am I walking into?
Somebody said he came out of the womb with tongs in his hand. Somebody said, have you ever seen the movie Delta Force?
I was more like Tropic Thunder. You ever seen Jack Black in Tropic Thunder? That's what I did. Delta Force. That was Chuck Norris, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Somebody said, I think he was in construction. Somebody said, no, I don't. That doesn't seem to fit.
Construction. Yeah, I had one of those jobs that, what is it? The no show, no work job or whatever. We just got to go out there and sit in a chair. You get paid for being there. I did that on The Sopranos.
Somebody said, I believe he was a dietitian.
No, I wasn't that either. I've had multiple jobs.
Somebody said you were a sacker at the Piggly Wiggly. Were you?
No, I never did that. Waylon did that at Cecil's.
Okay.
At Cecil's.
Do you remember Cecil's?
Yeah.
Sesels.
Somebody said semi-pro wrestler at Pizza Palace.
We did do some wrestling after hours.
You didn't
at
get
Pizza
paid
Hut.
for it.
No, it was just kind of MMA before MMA was a thing.
That was at Sonic, though, wasn't it?
No, well, we boxed there, but it was just straight fighting inside Pizza Hut when we were there.
Mitchell said you're a handyman that specialized in late night plumbing and late laying pipe.
I was a fireman like George Strait. Call me the fireman.
And one of my favorite is Miss Reed the sugar mama?
No, she's my young one I stole.
Ain't young
I call
no
her
more.
Young Shell.
Ain't young no more.
That's a good comment there. Well, Mark, what you got coming? Oh, before we get out of here today, you sent me a picture of what you got in the mail to cook. Are you cooking that for dinner tonight or tomorrow night?
I'm cooking it tonight.
Go ahead and tell everybody what it is.
Wait. Some Australian A9 ribeyes from Mr. Kevin Green himself.
They looked I've never had anything bad from him, but these look phenomenal.
Good friend of ours, it's her birthday today, and we're pretty close with them, and they're going to come over. She works at the school, so it's her first day back at school today and her birthday, so we're going to make sure to take care of the school teachers. We're going to feed on some A9.
Man, y'all gonna be eating good.
I just looked at this picture.
You see those?
Ooh.
Marbled up?
Yeah.
He was like, you don't think they'll be too rich? I guarantee it. If y'all all eat those, she may not go to school tomorrow. I mean, she don't weigh $1.05. There's no way. You're only supposed to eat like 2 ounces of that stuff, and you got like
good.
20-ounce ribeyes.
They're not solid white, but
They're not. They're beautiful.
they're a good eating steak. They're going to be perfect.
They're gonna be rich.
They're
I wouldn't like eat baked potato loaded up in bread with it.
But it's a
Need some
ribeye?
vegetables.
It's a ribeye, and they're all tri-heart cuts. Like all 6 of them are from the end of the loin.
Are you doing those on the pizza oven, or are you gonna do them on the grill?
No, I'm gonna do them on a kettle.
That's about a 50-50 meat to fat ratio right there.
That's kind of how I like everything in life. No, it's gonna be good. We got that. She wanted that and some truffle fries. So we're gonna make some truffle fries and a salad. Keep it healthy. And then I got to make. Oh crap! I was supposed to do that yesterday. I got to make creme brulee tonight.
How do you make your truffle fries?
So she wants the homemade version, like from potato to fries.
So you got to cut them.
I cut my fries and I mix them like a bowl of water and about a cup of white vinegar and let them soak and get the starch out of them. And then I pull them out on a cooling rack, put them in the fridge, let them dry for an hour. And then I fry them like at 325. And when they start floating, I pull them out, let them cool all the way, drop them again when it's like 375 and get them crispy. And I use that truffle oil and just a little AP. And they're good fries.
I don't even have any of that stuff. Is it good?
Oh, it is. I'm not a big fan of their sauces, but they're just straight truff oil. Is delicious. I bought their truff salt last night too.
I got a tater sheen down there at the camp. You can cut the potatoes
I need one.
With.
I got a cheap
You just put
one.
it on there and push the handle down. It spits it right out.
I got a cheap plastic one and it'll cut you. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, do you cut them in like?
I do the small, like the smallest I can do, like restaurant style, fast food style restaurant fries.
I'm going to tell you.
Those are good.
Is it Orida?
The Orida extra crispy.
Fast food style fry. Man, we buy them at Kroger or Walmart.
You put them in an air fryer.
You never know they wouldn't fry it in grease, man. That's I bet you that tossed in that oil with the little AP.
I was hoping that's what she'd say, but she requested the fresh cut ones, and I'm like,
you should do a bag of those just beside and see how they go. Which one's better?
Oh, I bet the fried ones are going to be better.
No.
I don't think so. I don't know if you can beat those, man. They're too
I've had a lot of good homemade fries, and I'm sorry, but it's hard to beat them old frozen ones in some grease.
I like crinkle cuts.
Not for truffle fries.
No. Yeah. If you do that, you're on my list. And we've got a restaurant local that did that. I'll never go back.
Yeah. And they changed ownership, though.
Oh, did they?
Still ain't going back.
They lost my business.
Give me some frozen, soggy Oridas.
Yeah.
They charge $9.
$19
for truffle fries. And it's
truffle fries.
And it's crinkle cut. Yeah.
We got steaks that been cooking since last year. I paid $200 for all this. Don't get me fired up on that.
I'm not.
All right. Let me ask one more question, then we'll wrap up. I'll let y'all go do what you got to do. Trey, he says that he's cooked a pork butt. He's reheated them several times before, the way, you shred them and reheat them in a sous vide. But this time he's got the pork butt whole, and he's wondering how he can reheat it whole. The butt is currently wrapped in foil with liquids from the cook. He cooked it on a gateway drum. How does he heat it up full?
I mean, you're going to have to put it in the oven or back on a pit.
Yeah.
Whole.
The
it's
thing
not
about
going to do good.
Yeah.
I mean,
leaving them whole is hard to do because it has to be on there so long.
Yeah, to warm up. Oh, you're looking at it because you don't want to do it at like 400. I mean, you got to keep the temp down like 250, 275. And it's going to take it 45 minutes to an hour probably whole to get back right.
To get it warm all the way in the center.
I would honestly, if he doesn't have access to like electricity, if he's having to use a pit somewhere, I would just leave it cold, pull the bone out, break it up into big chunks.
Do it that way?
Do it that way. And
you got to, I mean, if you have a sous vide, you could still do it whole. You just got to do a bigger bag and it'll get it back eventually.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You could boil a pot of water, vacuum seal it, and drop it down in it, and it would bring it back. Now, don't leave it boiling.
Yeah.
Like bring the pot to a boil, cut it off, drop that in there, and just let it hang out. But it's got to be sealed up good. But I get the bone out.
Yeah. Get the bone out.
But anytime, like, say, if I know I'm going to, and I prefer to keep the meat as whole as possible, but I always take that bone out hot. Like, so when it comes out the pit, because you want to cool it down fast anyway. That bone radiates so much heat. If you go ahead and pull it while it's easy to pull out, you don't have to worry about it busting a bag if you vacuum seal it, and then you can put it back in a vacuum sealed bag and seal it up.
Even if you're just resting it, you're going to pull that bone?
Always. Yeah, always.
I would, if you got to reheat it whole on the pit, you could put it in, get it out of the foil. I hate reheating them in the foil. Put them in a pan, put you a little bit of liquid in the bottom of that pan, and wrap it in plastic wrap or something, like tin it.
Turkey bag.
Yeah, turkey bag or something like that. And because you want to keep the steam's what's going to heat it without drying it out. But that would be your best option.
Breaking it up would probably be better if you don't have a way to do all that.
Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. Mark, I appreciate you coming in and talking hogs and pizza with us.
Yeah. Anytime you need me, I'm back there at office number 4.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Y'all can find me at 496 Whitfield Drive. No, Swine Life Barbecue, Instagram, all the platforms. If y'all got any questions, I'm always glad to help. I try to do a good job of, we get a lot of people answering questions or asking questions, so try to keep y'all in the know and keep you in the loop, and that's what it's all about.
And no buck junkies.
And it's Swine Life BBQ.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Shell, where can they find us if they don't know?
If you'd like to connect with Malcom, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Well, we will be back next week for another edition of the How to Barbecue Right podcast. And, I'll be on Greg Rempe this Tuesday. So,
yeah.
Any of y'all are listening, tune in to Greg Rempe at Barbecue Central Show. First Tuesdays of the month, I'm on that first segment of his show. So, we're talking more good stuff. But until then, appreciate y'all listening. We gone.